Hey everyone, 121 2016 here. You will notice that I did skip the workout before this. I do not have any idea how I want to put the footage together on that. It ended up being a deload day, and when Glenn and I deload, we do more bodybuilding type work, and it's over an hour of footage. So I don't know what you guys would want to see for a bodybuilding type day, what we do on a deload. Well, let me know in the comments what you'd like to see, and I'll try and put something together. But obviously the dates will be out of order. You can see Glenn here on his 5x5 squats. He has now jumped another 20 pounds to 285 pounds. This first set here he's doing with no belt. And one of the really good signs that we're seeing is he's not getting as much discomfort, and he's continuing to do the first set of every exercise with no belt, and it's feeling a lot better. He's getting a lot less tearing, and well, so far he hasn't torn again. When he first came back, there was a little bit of issue with the scab tearing a little bit, but there's none of that. The stretching's not as bad, and it's just all around more comfortable. You can see there I did my first set. I'm doing the 5-3-1, so there's going to be 3 sets from me on that. 320, not something very heavy, but as with 5-3-1, the reason I'm running it is because it works really well with the diet. For me, it's not as much volume. When I am on a diet, volume and recovery is very difficult for me. So 5-3-1 allows me to keep moving some weight. You vary the rep schemes, still do some heavy work, get some reps in there. So it really works well for me on a diet. Glenn here on his second set, looking pretty good, pretty strong. You can see there on the 4th and 5th rep, he does have a little bit of a slowdown, but all around still looking pretty good and solid there. No real concerns on him. And here's my second set, 350 pounds. Again, not too heavy, and this is the 5s day. So one of the things that we do when we were on 5-3-1 is the 5s day is heavier than is in the books. In the books, it is 65%, 75%, and 85%. So what we do is we start at 75. So we start where your first or your second set should be, and then we go 80%, and then we could do 85%. So it's significantly heavier, and it allows us to get more heavy work in there, because at above 70%, you're getting some good work in. 80% is where you're really focusing on strength gains. So by doing it this way, you get 2 sets in the 80% range. Now, some weeks, depending on how I'm feeling, on the 5s day, may not do 5+, just because of the recovery, and we're running the variation, which is 3-5-1, so you switch the order around. Instead of going 5s day, 3s day, 1+ day, you go 3 day, 5 day, 1 day, and then deload. And for me, because I don't normally need to deload, which I might with the diet, I'm going to try and do 2 cycles before the scheduled deload. And on the 1+ day, we will try and get singles in there. On the 3+, we'll either do some singles or some doubles or triples, depending on how I'm feeling there. But this is a 5+ set with 370 pounds. And one of the things I will say, I did not mention it, I'm not wearing the strong sleeves on this particular workout. I forgot them, didn't put them on, and just went out there, and when we got in the gym, I didn't feel like walking back to the house. Glenn now with his 4th set, 285, still looking really good. You can see there from the front, may need to work on depth for the USAPL. Some of you guys were a little bit worried about the judges, but from a purely technical rule standpoint, that is depth. He is getting the hip crease below the top of his knee, and I'm not too particularly worried about it right now. We're just going to have to keep an eye on it. Didn't take a side video this week. Now here is something, this is not in 531, and this isn't even the boring but big, but I decided that I want to do this because I do not do enough volume and I don't do cardio. So this is something I figured I would do, which is 225 pounds for a 10 plus. So I'm going to be doing this every workout at the end of the squat workout to try and get some volume in there, really get better at doing reps. Starting light with 225, and the goal is to do 225 for a couple weeks, try and push up there in how many reps I can do. When I can get around 25, maybe 30, I'm going to stop doing 225 and up the weight. Right now it's just based on a percentage. It's 50% of my working total for 531. And in this set, just a little bit of what was going through my head, I was really having a hard time getting to 15, but I was so close I pushed to 15. And then when I got 15, I thought to myself, man, I should just really push for 20. And I tried really hard to get to that 20th rep, but I just did not have it in me. So I felt pretty good about that. That's more reps than I thought I was going to get the first go around. So I may or may not have to increase a little bit sooner than I was thinking, because 18 reps is not too terrible. Although it's nothing to write home about, it is more than I expected. Glenn here with his last set, still 285 pounds, looking really strong here and solid. He did say that this workout was heavy, and you can see here in this fifth set, he's definitely getting fatigue, and the weight's starting to get to him. And he decided that the next workout, he's only going to go up 10 pounds, which I agreed with him was a really good idea. I think that jumping 20 pounds is admirable, and as I mentioned before, it's quite impressive how quick he's come back, but it's not something that can be done long term. Now we decided to put the box. I got something that actually lets you get to almost depth. It's the preacher curl bench that we never use. And we've got the 2 green bands from Rogue. Each band is 65 pounds, but again, because of the peg setup, I'm not sure exactly how much weight that is. And we've got 225 pounds on the bar, 2 plates. And what we're working on here is trying to really build the speed coming off the bottom of the movement. So there are many, many different variations of box squats. There are wide box squats, close box squats. And what I wanted to do here for me is just sit back, kind of lean back, let my body deload, make sure I don't have any weight on my legs, make sure that I'm not getting any stretch reflex whatsoever, so that it's all coming out of the hole. I'm building the upward momentum, the upward strength here, and I obviously am using 3 plates here. Felt really good. Definitely a little bit slower than I would like to be, but as I've mentioned before, speed work is something that I've not done a lot of, and I am very slow. So I need to work on that. And Glenn here really trying to focus on deloading at the bottom, making sure he takes the weight off of his quads and his hamstrings and just focuses on the upward movement. And we both agreed these are awesome. I really like doing these. If you have the opportunity to get some bands or set them up and do some box squats, I recommend it. I'm not sure how good of a carryover it's going to have, but I definitely enjoy doing it. It's a very different stimulus. And I just like doing box squats now. I think I need to do more of them because I just really enjoy it. In this second set, I'm getting a lot more speed here than I was the first set, so that is good. Definitely need to keep working on that. Glenn here with his last set, still with 2 plates, trying to get a couple more reps in. and this is really going to help him to avoid falling forward. That is something that I've mentioned multiple times. Both him and I have had some problems falling forward. Him before injury, and me more recently, and actually was a big contributor to the fact that I didn't get my squat goal for 2015. But I think that doing this and getting that mobility back, going back to chucks, is going to help out significantly with that. And for me on my last set, I just decided to drop it down to 2 plates and try and get more reps in there. You can see definitely a lot more speed, and that has to do primarily with the fact that it's significantly lighter at the bottom. And, you know, with speed work, I've seen a couple different recommendations. Sometimes you'll see percentages around 40%, and sometimes they're 50%. I've never seen anyone recommend over 65% of your max for speed work. So doing it light like this occasionally I think will be a good thing. Although I do want to get some more band tension. The week prior when I did use the squats with bands, I put the green bands on with a pair of blue bands, and the blue bands are 50 pounds each, and definitely got a lot more tension. So I'm going to try and play with that a little bit more, get those involved. Now, Glenn decided to go ahead and jump up to 225 for his bench. He's doing 5x5, and as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I am just feeling really beat up in my shoulders, and my triceps are feeling it, and getting some pain in the bicep, as well as my joints, and that is all due to the diet. Not getting as much fat calories in as I'm used to. So what I decided to do is just do some reps with 225. And I did several variations. I did a couple just getting reps in with a normal grip, and then I did some close grip. I did a little bit of spoto press, and just had some fun with it. Tried to keep the weight light, 225 is fairly light, and just get as much work as I could without getting injured or putting myself in a position where I wasn't going to be able to recover. But there's only a couple minutes left of this, and benching is benching, so I'm going to throw on a video, or I'm sorry, this is a video. I'm going to throw in some music, and I will catch you guys in the next video. As always, be safe, go lift something heavy, and have some fun.
Good.
Why are you still watching this video? I told you to go lift something heavy. That was not a suggestion. That was an order. Go lift something heavy.